All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Here we go, Sit high.
Right up the gut. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, let's give them a little love right here, okay? They don't always get the attention they deserve on a broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Halfway there on 1st down, that brings up 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Hey, never mind, Monday. Tonight.
Here's 2nd and 5. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Yeah, this game, you just can't make it harder than it needs to be. Just get the catch first. Guarantee your yards, and then worry about escaping defenders after the catch.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down.
Here we go. We're good. EQ. Hey, Chance. Sit high.
Fields out of the gun. Complete beyond the marker. He gets loose down the right side. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. Harris is across the line for the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. Najee Harris, the touchdown. Will Lutz now on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. The kicking team out there for the Steelers, and here they go to send it away. Here's a return from the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. And a huge return sets up the offense on the opposite side of the field.
You know it right now, Kate. I'm absolutely in favor of this frenetic pace. A touchdown scored, and this is what the immediate response is. Nearly answer it with a house call yourself. Yeah, there's no body blows in this one. This game's starting with some serious haymakers.
Now first run of the game is Amir White. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Ali McNeil in on the tackle. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Off the play fake, here's Rodgers. His first throw is an interception. What a call for their first pass of the game. It would have been a big hitter if they completed it, Brock, but just not the right touch on that football, and it ends with an interception.
You could just tell these cover guys, they've been waiting for their first chance to go get some work done in this one. They did their homework, number 1. And number 2, Kate, as Russell Wilson loves to say, the separation was in the preparation.
And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
First down throw for Fields. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. So that brings up second down.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. They get 13 on the pickup. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
I'm sure Coach, play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Here we go, son.
They'll run here on first down. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Something he does so well. Nick Bolton making the stop. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Snared by his running back, it's Najee Harris. And what a hit there. Ouch, she faced the price for moving the chains that time.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10.
Here we go, son. Tonight.
Shotgun snap to Fields. Roman Wilson reels it in. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Give him 13 on that play. And that's a Steelers first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
On 1st and 10, it's Fields. Escapes the pocket. Throw secured by George Pickett. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And he cannot shake the tackler along the line of scrimmage. No gain on second down, and they need 2 here on 3rd.
Chances of stalling this drive defensively seem bleak, but how about now? Look at those odds changing, Kate. Still not great, but you could feel a little momentum on their side. Maybe they can muster it up and get back-to-back stops.
Don't jump. Ready? Right.
Throwing now, 3rd and 2. Rolling left, buying some time. Oh, he's going to run for it! And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Pick up a 5 on that play, and he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
Here we go, son.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. Getting out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down.
Look at how well the coverage held up on that play. Even as the QB escapes the pocket and buys extra time to secondary, well, they got real sticky, stay tight, and force the throw away.
Here we go. Good. Go.
Throwing again on second down. Fields. This ball's caught by Pickens. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
So we're through 1 as everyone tries to stay warm on what has been a very cold night. Neither side separating much so far. More from Acrisure Stadium after the break. It's Steelers ball as we return for the second, and they have to be thinking points here.
No muss, no muss.
They'll motion him out of the backfield.
All right.
Fields on third. He has the first over the middle. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got first and goal.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in-cut and make the catch.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal.
Here we go. All right.
Another throw for Fields. Escapes out to the left. Fighting for the goal line. Oh, he lost it. Someone punched it out. And the Raiders get to it. And he has it up to the 9-yard line before going down.
You know, Kate, that's a stop they're going to use as teaching tape for an entire season. Heck, the offseason. Back pressed against their own end zone, making an impact play no one expected to force a fumble. His effort directly kept points off the scoreboard. And it's that type of effort the coaches want to see from everyone on the field.
Drive starts with a carry by White. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
I don't know, Kate. I didn't think he had it, but that back did. He knew exactly where he had to get for the first down. Pops up right away and signals first down.
Still on the move, coming to the line for first and 10. Here's White again. And they crush him right near the marker. It looks close, but yep, Brock, I think he safely got that first down before the hit.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice. Once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
Man in motion here.
26. Number 50. Hey, you block over here.
A pistol snap here, Rodgers. He's going deep. And this is going to end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on first down, but just couldn't make the connection.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Running on second with White. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Rodgers throwing on third down. To the right side and reeled in by Chase. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They run the counter with White. And this is a nice gain that stopped at the 47. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up second and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Second and 3 now. Again, this is White. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
26.
Now Rodgers on third and short. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Rodgers will look to throw. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. It's the 2-minute warning now from Acrisure. It's the Raiders in a very tough spot on 2nd and long.
Back to him. Madden. Inside. Get 300. Get 300.
Trying again following the sack. He's on the move.
You know, that's a situation. May have worked out better if he'd thrown the ball. His running ability gets him a chunk of yards, but still some work to do to get that first down.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Looking out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Couldn't connect right side, it's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
So now on 4th down, the Raiders electing to send Daniel Carlson out for the field goal. This from the right hash and a considerable distance. This will not connect. Not enough leg and too far left as well. And the deficit stays at 7.
He was hitting from that distance pregame. Heck, we were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Fields looking to throw. On the move, headed right. He's keeping it. And he goes out a little short of the 40.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right. They win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
2nd and 1. Completed here to Pickens. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Oh, that is going to haunt him. A drop touchdown in the end zone. We'll see how good his mental toughness is, if he can move past it quickly and make an impact for them later.
So the incompletion on 1st. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Fields throwing here. Throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trayvon Merrick has it. And the Raiders take over on his 5th interception of the season. Now that right there, that is rising to the... In the red zone, partner. Could have saved 3 points there. Heck, maybe twice that with that interception.
You know, these defenders, they're willing to bend and bend. These offenses are so good in this league, and they know how critical the red zone is. And when you get an interception like that, you just break. You break the will of that offense and the confidence, and those are big time. You're right. Put some points on the board for that defense with that effort.
To the air here on 1st down, Rodgers. Flush down now to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be second down.
Well, discretion, the better part of valor in a lot of cases. Rather than force something with no one open and risk a turnover, he wisely just threw it away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down.
30.
Rodgers here from the gun. Taking his shot deep down the field and go. He's got it deep downfield. And he will take this in. Touchdown. The Raiders earn the chance to tie before halftime. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side defensively they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything.
Go.
He's back to throw. Buys time, rolling right. Just before halftime, we get a timeout. Take it. One last play before the break.
Here we go. Chip's clear. Out. Hey, can't. Right.
Back to throw it. He puts some power on a deep one left. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Something's got to be the difference maker here in half number 2. We'll see what it is as we're off and running once again. Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. It's White on the give. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Here's 2nd and 14. And that one's unsuccessful. This one intended for the running back. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Hey, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. From the shotgun, Rodgers. Complete beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
1st and 10, it's a gift to White. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Tackled by the venerable Cameron Hayward. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
That's caught. Here's Zamir White. This is ahead for about 5. Peyton Wilson getting there for the stop.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And he's in. Touchdown! The Raiders take the lead right away in half number 2. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Didn't make an effort to hit the landing area at all. So they're going to give them a drive starting at the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go, side. Side.
Off play action, it's Fields. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
That's a very quick trigger, and the hurry throw was much tougher to complete. He may have rushed that one thinking the pressure was just about to get to him in the pocket.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call.
Yossi, don't jump. Ready? Set high.
Fields out of the gun. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Nick Bolton has it. And the Raiders take over on his 5th interception of the season. Well, no doubt they envision that as the start of a second-half push for the lead. But the defense, well, defense had other ideas, Brock, protecting their team's advantage and taking possession back on the first play of the series.
Not the way you needed to start the half if you were thinking comeback, but exactly the way to start the half if you're trying to take this lead and step on it. That's a defender who sensed the need for a splash play and delivers.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Complete here to Bowers. And And they get this down to the 7-yard line. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them first and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
4 downs now to get in. Here's first and goal. The give now to White. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. No gain that time, and now it'll be second and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on first down. More to come.
Still lined up at the 6. Here's second and goal. Rodgers to throw. Has it in close. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown. The Raiders pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Brock Bowers the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Carlson's extra point is good. And the Raiders double their lead to 14. The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, son.
Williams coming in motion right.
Tonight.
Fields on first down. Forced out to his right. Now he throws deep across the field, left side. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
The drive picks up here, first and 10.
Here we go.
And got a man in motion.
Tonight.
On first and 10, it's Fields. Tried to connect, but it winds up incomplete. Looking for the back that time. And now they face second down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down.
Here we go.
Shotgun snap to Fields. Hits his running back. 12 yards on that play and a good call, and that's in the first.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's first and 10.
Widen up. Here we go. Punch right. Right.
From the red zone now. In the goal line. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moments. He's at the 1. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them first and goal.
Here we go. Go.
Harris does not get in. His push is stopped just short of that goal line.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
Another chance to get that lone yard. Here's second and goal. Now run with Harris. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Steelers shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. Najee Harris, the touchdown. What's there to tack on the extra point? And the Steelers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Has this at the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down. The 30. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Up the middle, here goes White. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door, bigger gap in the future.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down.
Number 50, hey, you block over here.
That's the end of the 3rd on Sunday night. It's the Raiders' ball, a chance at a win if they can hang on to this lead. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Rodgers set to pass. Connects on the crosser. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. White trying this straight ahead. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. He made it 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby, but you know what? Talk to managers and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you could win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you, you get runs of that length, it may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3. Rodgers will look to throw. He sends this one to the end zone. And he drops it in the end zone. The look was there on 3rd down. Instead, it's incomplete.
You only get so many chances to make this type of play for your team. Boy, you'd love to see him come through there.
On comes Daniel Carlson for a pretty important kick. From the right hash, this is going to be a 51-yarder. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
It doesn't take a math major, Kate, to realize how important that field goal was. It's now a 2-score game really late and puts them in the driver's seat to go and finish this thing with the win.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go, set.
Motioning him from the slot right.
Set.
1st down throw for Fields. And he can't make the hook up on the deep ball. That's incomplete. George Pickens, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down.
Here we go. Set.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th.
Here we go. Set.
Another throw for Fields. Chased out to his right. And on 4th down, that one won't work. It's incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
New set of downs for him at the 38. On the ground, it's White. And he runs this one down across the 35 and inside the 30. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Here's a toss to White. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
And the Steelers go in nickel. 3rd down. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. The Steelers calling their first timeout. They still have 2 to work with in this final quarter.
The best defensive ends in the NFL, they don't need to win sustained battles to get home. Nope. Sometimes, Kate, all they need is one quick move, and they're into the backfield blowing it up.
Daniel Carlson out to try this Raiders field goal. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. Online, but not enough juice. It's no good short. And their lead holds steady at 10.
Kid, any way you look at it, any script you were going to write for a comeback, it started with the field goal. They had to have that right there, and they don't. So you can rip up that script. Not sure there's enough time remaining to find a way to win.
The Steelers with some very good field position as they get set, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Fields. Into the hands of Pat Fryermuth. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out. 16 yards on the play. And that's a Steelers first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Don't jump. Ready? Press. Watch right. Go.
Fields throwing here. Here's a deep shot towards the end. Big gain downfield. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one splits the uprights. And the Steelers cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Tucker now on the return. And look at this return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. It got first down from the 31. Now here's Rodgers. This ball's cut by Bowers. And he's out of bounds after pushing just past the 40. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a Vegas first down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
First and 10 from the 41. Now it's White. And hopefully a bit of a wake-up for their ground game. It's a solid pickup there on the play. Now before we reach the 2-minute warning, we've got a timeout. That's the second one used by the defense in this half.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
Second and 6 coming up here. Here's White. And he's brought down for a loss. Now we get a pause, Brock, as the defense uses its final timeout, so the clock only going to stop again at our 2-minute warning.
Good defensive tackles in this league, Kate. They can take up a couple blockers. Great defensive tackles. Well, they stuffed the stat sheet just like that, knocking that run backwards before it could get started.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7.
Back close.
Looking to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So that brings up 4th down. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. And they just did.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And they were giving him no chance to return this one. It soars over the sideline deep in enemy territory. Looks like right around the 8. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Here we go, son. Right.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Finds the in route, complete. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. That brings us to the 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. Steelers down by only 3. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4.
Here we go. We're good. Set.
Fields looking to throw. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
Up, let's go. Extend. Set high.
Here he is to throw. Short pass brought in. And he's taken down here at the 16-yard line.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL. Everybody on the field's thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
Offense staying out there. It's 4th and 1. Looking to throw it. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Hey, after that stop, Kate, they can start to celebrate. Well, kind of. They still got to finish this game. And my favorite formation in football, that victory formation. Get into it, secure the football, and you'll secure this victory.
A run now with White. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down.
The one thing I can say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. A give right side to White. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. So it's a road win for the Raiders in this one.